Spend the day at Jazzland Theme Park where the fun is at full blast.
I gotta do that again!
Jazzland in New Orleans on I-10 at the I-510 exit is filled with thrills for the whole family.
Serious rides.
30 incredible rides and spectacular entertainment.
This is great!
Come for the thrills, stay for the fun at Jazzland. Open daily at 10 a.m.
Get your fill of thrills at Jazzland.
And it's time for fun. Right now, save up to $15 on tickets to Six Flags New Orleans with coupons from participating Wendy's restaurants. Six Flags New Orleans.
If ever the cavalry was needed, it is now, and it is in New Orleans. An Army National Guard helicopter today rescued people from rooftops, fragile islands in the floodwaters. It was the Coast Guard to the rescue for others, swinging axes to reach people trapped in attics. In one submerged neighborhood, they plucked people to safety one by one with a helicopter-borne basket. An air-sea rescue in the heart of urban America. And when you pull back for a wide shot, the scene is nothing short of apocalyptic. 80% of New Orleans, including much of downtown, is underwater. The Big Easy's famous Canal Street, living up to its name. And rising waters will now force officials to evacuate the shelter at the Superdome. Katrina's departure was just the beginning of the misery.
I didn't think it was over, but...
In the heart of the Louisiana Bayou lies a forgotten amusement park. Its faded memories haunting the dreams of those who dare to wander its crumbling pathways. Once a beacon of family fun and excitement, Six Flags New Orleans now lies abandoned, its attractions frozen in time, a relic of a bygone era. Opened in 2000 as Jazzland, the park was rebranded as Six Flags New Orleans in 2003, promising thrills and entertainment for all who dared to enter its gates. Only a few years of thrills and family fun enthralled the park, as in 2005, Hurricane Katrina struck, unleashing its fury upon the Gulf Coast and leaving Six Flags New Orleans submerged under floodwaters.
Despite efforts to revive the park in the aftermath of the hurricane, Six Flags New Orleans remained closed. Its fate sealed by the financial struggles and uncertainty. Once a place for laughter and memories, has turned to urban legends and curious explorers wandering the park. Side note, do not visit Six Flags New Orleans and trespass. It is illegal. For those who dare to tread the abandoned grounds of Six Flags New Orleans, the echoes of the bayou will forever haunt their memories. A reminder of the spirits that linger within the shadows of Six Flags New Orleans. Restless spirits lurk, yearning to share their untold stories with those who dare to listen.
Alrighty everybody, welcome back to Ghoster Coasters. Just to clarify there, we are not making fun of anything. That was our best attempt at a southern draw. I don't really have one, I can't do it. Not too great at it, but today we'll be taking a trip down to the Louisiana Bayou to talk about one of the most famous abandoned amusement parks out there. Yes, Six Flags New Orleans. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join the spooky community. A huge shout out goes to the Coaster Ghost and producers of the channel who help bring content like this to life, guys. Back to our regularly scheduled haunting.
Six Flags New Orleans was plagued by devastation and surrounded by rich history. It's no mystery why the park is shrouded in haunted lore and legends. But hey, welcome to New Orleans, a city steeped in history, folklore, and legend. But beneath its lively days lies a shadowy past, filled with tales of ghosts, voodoo, and the supernatural. From the misty bayous to the cobblestone streets of the French Quarter, New Orleans has long been regarded as one of the most haunted cities in America. In addition to the rich history, the park also has played part in some major movies, including Killer Joe, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Deepwater Horizon, and Jurassic Park. Let's get into those hauntings now.
In August 2005, Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast, causing widespread destruction and flooding in the New Orleans and surrounding areas. Six Flags New Orleans, located in eastern New Orleans, was directly in the path of the hurricane. Hurricane Katrina was one of the deadliest and most destructive hurricanes in U.S. history and had a profound impact on the Gulf Coast region, particularly on the city of New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina resulted in approximately 1,800 fatalities across the Gulf Coast region. The storm's powerful winds, storm surge, and flooding caused widespread destruction and claimed the lives of many residents who were unable to evacuate or seek shelter in time. This came with massive economic impacts, infrastructure damage, widespread throughout the entire city, environmental damage that wreaked havoc on the surrounding areas, and a lack of response from the government concerning the area. With the devastation, the park has an obvious tie into its haunting past. Let's discuss some of the haunting stories surrounding the park.
Six Flags New Orleans has become a magnet for urban explorers, ghost hunters, and thrill seekers drawn to its haunted reputation. Stories of ghostly encounters, paranormal activity, and unexplained phenomena abound, fueling rumors of lingering spirits and restless souls trapped within the abandoned park. There is no electricity in the park, so there's absolutely no reason for anything to be coming on or for noises from rides other than the old creaks they offer in the distant wind, but there are plenty of stories about the park coming to life. One of the more intriguing encounters at the park, commonly referenced by locals and abandoned explorers alike, is that they see flickering lights coming from old attractions or buildings throughout the park in the distance.
These occurrences have been told for decades at the park, but an even creepier story? Could you imagine walking through an abandoned amusement park and hearing a ride engine try to start up? With no electricity or people in the park, this sounds like an utterly disturbing occurrence to have happen. These occurrences are only further enhanced by the decaying rides and attractions that stand as ghostly reminders of its former glory. Rusted roller coasters, dilapidated thrill rides, and crumbling structures loom like specters against the backdrop of the Louisiana Bayou, their skeleton frames evoking a sense of foreboding and eerie feelings. Many who have ventured into Six Flags New Orleans have reported feeling an eerie sense of being watched or followed by an unseen presence. Some visitors have described feeling sudden drops in temperature, unexplained gusts of winds, and feelings of unease or dread while exploring the park's deserted pathways. And with that backdrop, who wouldn't? But has there been any evidence recorded by paranormal investigators?
Yes, paranormal investigators and ghost hunters have reported anomalous electromagnetic readings within Six Flags New Orleans. These readings, coupled with reports of ghostly sightings and eerie phenomena, have fueled speculation about the paranormal activity within the abandoned park. These readings are often detected in areas where ghostly activity is reported to be most prevalent, such as near abandoned rides, buildings, or areas with a high concentration of reported sightings. While skeptics may attribute these readings to natural causes or environmental factors, believers interpret them as evidence of paranormal activity within the abandoned park.
One of the more interesting hauntings at Six Flags New Orleans involves the presence of ghostly children. Witnesses have reported hearing the laughter, giggles, and playful voices of children echoing throughout the deserted rides and pathways of the park, despite there being no living children present. Some believe these spirits may be linked to the tragic history of the park, with stories circulating about children who perished during Hurricane Katrina in nearby neighborhoods or met untimely fates while visiting the amusement park. Numerous reports of strange and unexplained sounds have added to the haunted reputation of Six Flags New Orleans. Visitors have described hearing disembodied voices, whispers, and murmurs emanating from the deserted pathways and buildings of the park. Others have reported hearing phantom footsteps, rustling noises, and the sounds of creaking metal, despite there being no living individuals present nearby. The eerie laughter of children is a particularly common occurrence, with many attributing it to the spirits of children who once visited the park in its heyday.
These reported hauntings and eerie occurrences contribute to the mysterious and unsettling atmosphere surrounding Six Flags New Orleans, attracting visitors, ghost hunters, and urban explorers in search of paranormal phenomena and supernatural encounters. Once a thriving hub of excitement and adventure, Six Flags New Orleans now stands as a silent monument to its past, its empty attractions holding the whispers of a bygone era. Rumors of hauntings and ghostly apparitions have long surrounded Six Flags New Orleans, with visitors and explorers reporting unexplained phenomena and eerie encounters within its crumbling walls. Some even believe that the spirits of those who perished during Hurricane Katrina still linger within the park, their restless souls unable to find peace in the afterlife. Some say the park is clouded with overblown history and stories of hauntings that just aren't true. But others say, from the eerie laughter of the children echoing through the empty streets of the flickering lights and mysterious shadows that dance among the ruins, Six Flags New Orleans is a place where the veil between the living and the dead grows thin.
as the eerie fog settles over Six Flags New Orleans in its very much uncertain future right now with everything going on. Of course, you can see why this place would be one of the most haunted amusement parks in all of America, even though it's not very active anymore. There's been a lot of turmoil and tragedy that has happened there. The park was once a beacon of what was supposed to be a day of enjoyment for your family, for your friends, and for everybody to go get away from it. But with Hurricane Katrina's impact and the everlasting impact on Six Flags New Orleans, we never saw what was supposed to be of that park. Even the haunt, the Fright Fest that they had going for that season got canceled. I just saw someone buy some Fright Fest merch from Six Flags New Orleans online, which was really cool, but yeah, the park definitely has an uncertain future, so you can see why some of the spirits may still linger. But we're going to take you to one of the most magical places on Earth, one of the most famous theme parks in all of America. Yes, somewhere where the veil may grow thin. So come along to what is supposed to be one of the most magical places on Earth.
Today we're taking you on a trip to Disneyland in Anaheim, California. The original Disney theme park opened under the imagination of Walt Disney in 1955. It's often referred to as the happiest place on Earth and is one of the most iconic and visited theme parks in the world. Known for family entertainment and a place filled with magic, most people wouldn't suspect the eerie stories that surround and make up the urban legends of Disneyland. So are they just that? Or is there something more to the bone-chilling stories? Sit back, get cozy, turn on your spooky lights, and unwind as we take a trip to the paranormal here on the most haunted amusement parks with ghoster coasters.
A huge shout out goes to the Coaster Ghost and producers of the channel and members. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join the spooky fun. The tales of haunts and ghostly apparitions have piled up over the years, adding to a long list of urban legends and stories told from the Disneyland grounds. A little precursor to the video, guys, we have not been to Disneyland, California ourselves and cannot speak from experience. Anything we research for this video will be listed in the description below. We hope to represent Disney in a good light. Hauntings can be interesting and unique experiences, and this is one of everyone's bucket list parks to visit, filled with magic and chances to make memories that last a lifetime, so the following should be taken into context before making any assumptions about Disneyland. It is completely safe and filled with magical moments. Also, sorry if we get any information about the park's current status or names of places wrong, as these are as they were written when topics were discussed online, and some rides and places may have changed or been entirely removed by the time this video airs. Back to the hauntings of Disneyland Anaheim.
While Disneyland is generally regarded as a safe and family-friendly environment, unfortunately, there have been a few tragic incidents and deaths that have occurred at the park over the years. It's important to note that these incidents are rare and isolated, considering the millions of visitors who visit Disneyland annually. Here are a few notable incidents. In 1980, a 15-year-old boy was killed after he and a friend snuck into the park and attempted to jump from the People Mover ride to the monorail track. He was struck by an oncoming train and died as a result of his injuries.
In 1984, died after she was thrown from the Matterhorn bobsleds roller coaster. Investigations revealed that the lady was ejected from the ride due to improper seatbelt use. In 1998, a 33-year-old man was killed and 10 others were injured when a metal cleat tore loose from the deck of the sailing ship Columbia during a performance of Phantasmic. The cleat struck the man in the head as he was standing on the dock. Several ghosts are said to haunt Disneyland in Anaheim, California. Most of them are supposed to be the spirits of those who visited the parks over the years, and some more unfortunate circumstances as well. While Disneyland is known for its magic and wonder, there are some stories and urban legends about hauntings within the park. Here are a few of the most famous ones.
Many people report sightings of a man who appears near the monorail track at night before disappearing in the face of the oncoming tram. The spirit may be Thomas Guy Cleveland, a young man who attempted to sneak into the park at night by climbing over the fence in 1966. When he reached the monorail track, he was hit by an oncoming train.
Debbie Stone is also said to haunt the park. She was a teenage hostess working at the American Sings attraction when she was felled by one of the rotating theater walls. Cast members report hearing Stone whisper, "Be careful," if they're in danger. And of course, many cast members and attendees say they sometimes see or hear Walt Disney wandering around his old studio apartment above Main Street Firehouse. Since Disney's passing in 1966, cast members have kept the light in the apartment window eternally on for him. Disney fans also hypothesize the Pirates of the Caribbean ride is haunted since real human bones from the UCLA Medical Center were originally used in the ride. But what about some stories from former members or employees of the park to add on to the never-ending legends surrounding the park?
Tim Marr tells a story that starts by explaining he used to work the swing shift at the stroller shop. He says, "One night I was clearing Fantasyland of strollers just past 1 a.m. A co-worker and I were between the carousel and Dumbo when we heard children laughing. We decided to find security to let them know there were still guests in the park, but as we started walking towards Matterhorn, Dumbo turned on, music and all. Since we had just finished collecting strollers from the Casey Jones Dumbo queue, we knew there weren't any attractions cast members operating the ride. Quite the creepy experience, but the employee stories are only just beginning."
This one's in the men's room basement ghost, submitted by Annabelle K. She says, "So I work third shift custodial. Everyone jokes around the park being haunted, especially if you're new. I was in my first year as a third shift custodial. I had already heard all sorts of ghost stories from other cast members, so I was afraid to work alone anywhere in the park. At this point, I hadn't heard anything or had anything happen to me. Till this night. I'll never forget it. She says she was working in Toontown and was assigned to work in Mickey's basement, which is below Mickey's house. There's a set of bathrooms, a break room, and a small gym. She started off by cleaning the men's bathroom, then went over to the women's bathrooms. As she went into the women's bathroom, started to hear something moving around. She says she wasn't sure what it was, ignored it, and continued to work. Then, when she started to sweep the gym, she heard something moving again. This time, she heard it coming from the men's bathroom, so she naturally shouted, 'Hello, anyone in the bathroom?' There was no response, so took a look in the men's bathroom, and nothing. No one was in there.
But when she went to the break room, she could hear it again, something moving around in the men's bathroom. Upon returning to go look again, she noticed the trash can was in the middle of the bathroom, but maybe she didn't move it back while cleaning, so she moved it back and went to go back to cleaning the break room. But of course, movement in the men's bathroom again. And guess what? The trash can was moved again. This time, it was in the opposite side of the room. She goes on to say, "At this point, I'm scared. I don't even want to be down there. I'm thinking in my head, if there's something down here, it can't hurt me. I just need to hurry. I'm almost done." And that's when I hear, right off my left shoulder, "Get out," in the most creepiest voice. I kind of froze. I could feel my hair standing straight up.
She said, "I grabbed all of my stuff and ran out of there. I didn't finish mopping. I was just so scared I didn't want to finish. I just ran out of there. Till this day, I won't step foot down there alone. After that, I had heard other stories from other cast members who had experiences down there, and every story had something to do with the men's bathroom. From hearing things and seeing shadow figures, I have other experiences in the park, but this one was just one of the scariest. Maybe this was just a case of eerie happenings and coincidences, but that gut instinct and fear would drive anyone crazy." There's a few more stories from former members of the park, so let's go ahead and get into those and let you guys decide. Is Disneyland actually haunted or not?
From Lori W., she says Star Trader stockrooms are also haunted. I always felt being watched and hearing kids' voices laughing. I remember going up to the 4th level stockroom getting plushies and hearing children's voices.
Lisa K said back in the day, cast members would have a locker in a locker room to keep their belongings during their shift and would also be a place to change out of street clothes and into costume. She said my locker was inside Space Mountain, and on a few occasions I'd be in there all alone and hear someone say something, and then a door that went to the ride would open and close. A little bit creepy when it was late at night.
So Sarah W. said, "Oh my God, my locker was in Space Mountain too. And yes, it was not uncommon to hear voices and doors opening and shutting. You would look to see if another cast member was around, but the place would be empty."
Now, with all of those occurrences happening at the park and a long, rich history before Disneyland ever became what it is today, many things happened and shaped the grounds of the happiest place in the world now stands on. As the magic fills the air during the day, scarier happenings and sightings occur to the park employees at a rate that just can't be shrugged off as strange occurrences.
Some might say it's just urban legends passed down over time that have grown to be more than just a simple fib, but others have experienced and believe that Disneyland is filled with spirits from the past. Even Walt Disney himself is rumored to roam the grounds till this day. Thanks for joining us for another Haunted Amusement Park episode, and we hope you had a bone-chilling time hearing about some of the ghostly tales that surround one of the world's most famous parks, Disneyland. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and become a part of the spooky community today. We'll have more ghost and tales soon, and plenty of other amusement park content as well. You won't want to miss it. Make sure to smash that like button. It greatly helps the channel, and we couldn't do it without all of you out there.
And thank you all for joining us on this hair-rising expedition through Disneyland's Haunted Wonderland. Be sure to subscribe and become part of our community of ghost hunters as we continue to uncover the mysteries that lie hidden within the world's most beloved amusement parks. And until next time, may your days be filled with magic and perhaps a touch of the supernatural.
As always, thank you for being a part of the spooky community and for coaster ghosting with Ghoster Coasters.
Have a magical day, everybody.
At Disneyland's Haunted Wonderland.